My name is Michael Witt. I'm an assistant professor of library science here at Purdue. I'm the library's liaison to the Department of Computer Science in the College of Science and to Discovery Park, which is an interdisciplinary research centers focusing on things like nanotechnology, entrepreneurship, oncological sciences, etc. And so one of the issues that we have at Purdue is we're looking at research data and curating research data and the role for the libraries and librarians in stewarding data, preserving it for the long term, and making it accessible to future generations. Exposing data is important. It enables people to repeat experiments and repeat methods, reproduce them, which is part of the scientific method, as well as to reuse the data and glean new knowledge from it, as well as, in some cases, produce efficiencies where data are no longer needed to be regenerated because they exist, they're in a library somewhere, they can be trusted, and there's metadata that describes them so they can be understood and used. And so one project I'm excited about is called DataBib. The website is databib.org, and essentially what we're doing is we're cataloging the data repositories of the world. And so this is initiated through an IMLS grant through the National Leadership Sparks Innovation Program in collaboration with Penn State University. And essentially you go to databib.org and you can browse and search metadata, a metadata catalog describing research data repositories. And so if you're a researcher and you would like to discover a repository where you can submit a data set, like for example you submitted a grant proposal to the NSF and you needed to submit a data management plan and you needed to identify, well, where can I send my data? You could go to DataBib and find an appropriate data repository for you. If you're a researcher or you're a student and you're using data as a function of your research or learning, you can go to DataBib and find data repositories that meet your information needs. And if you're a librarian and you're doing incorporating data into your information literacy outreach and instruction, or you're working at the reference desk and you have patrons who have questions about data, you can help them identify good sources for data. And so that's part of it. The other part is working with an advisory board and a board of editors around the world to be able to identify and describe these data repositories. And so the project is just under a year old, and we've described just over 300 data repositories. We'll be up over 500 by the end of the year, and we're working with people at this point on all continents. And so it's exciting because we have folks in India, librarians in India who are cataloging data repositories in India, librarians in North Africa and the Arab countries, cataloging data repositories there in China, Europe, Australia, the UK, and South and Latin America. And so this is one of the ways that we're trying to engage a community of data-driven researchers and learners. And so looking and treating research data the same way we treat more traditional forms of scholarly communication like books and journals and these kinds of things, using the same principles of library science. So identifying and cataloging them, trying to help people understand and access them, being able to preserve them for the long term.